Hey guys, Nikki Johnston here with Beyond Eons Productions, and I want to introduce to you Wednesday Whispers. We are starting a new segment for just what we're doing. So basically, what we'd like to do is roll out a midweek report. And we want to discuss what went on in the episode previously. And then get into stuff that's coming up in the near future. And we want to know your thoughts. We want to know what you think about the previous episode, what resonated with you. If you have any questions or anyone you'd like to suggest to be on, we would love your input. And today I am going to bring on Yakim Parker, who is owner and CEO of Beyond Eons Productions. All right, let me get him on. Hey guys. Hey Dante. All right, let me see. Yakim, let me get you on here. I hit it. Where are you?
Hey, I
Yes!
made it in time.
What's up?
How you doing? Peace and blessings, everyone. How are you?
Yes. How are you?
Um,
All right. Is Dante getting on here too? Because he showed that he wanted to get in here. Let me see real quick. Oh, nope, I guess not. Oh, okay. He wanted to make sure that you got on as
oh
well.
yeah, I had to use the hotspot on my new phone to use on my old phone to get access to the camera because my new phone won't give it to me. So I was like, I don't know what's going on with that.
Oh my God, technology. So you guys, this is the man behind the scenes, the one who is taking all the filming, the one who's coming up with some of our ideas, who's doing the beautiful editing on all the videos, and it's time to get him out to the world. Yes. So as I said, we're calling this segment Wednesday Whispers, and hopefully every Wednesday, either me or you or with Dante or the three of us, we're going to come on here, review the previous episode, and then let everybody know what's going on. So let's talk about the last episode. The last episode that came out was Colorblind Spin the Block Edition. It is the first of a series of 7, and we're going on a journey with you with dealing with being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis,
Yes.
how you're going to get through different things like pain management and doctor's appointments, all the things. But I want to focus on that episode because that was like, you got it out there.
I would say, I'm sorry. I was probably like the scariest thing for me because at the time I was still in school at New England Tech. I didn't really have an idea of where I was going with my projects. It was getting close to the end of the line, and my world stopped. Everything stopped. It didn't hit me until days afterwards. Like
Mm-hmm.
what they were telling me. My wife, like she's in the medical field, so she automatically knew.
Right.
It took a while to hit me, and when it did, I can only think of like that's when I figured out what I wanted to do for my project. Like, I'm just going to talk about this. I
Yeah.
just started making music, and then one thing led to another, and I created a whole album. Then I realized that the colors scheme in the album represented the chakras, and then it was a snowball effect, and it all goes back to music,
Okay.
and that's my one true passion. Like everything that I've been through in life, ups and downs from the time I was little till now, music has always been a part of it.
Amazing. So at what point, so you found out it hit you. When it hit you, where did it take you? Did it take you from death sentence to I got to talk about this, or did you go right into, musician art mode? I got to talk about this. How did that flow for you?
When it finally hit me, like I think to this day, right about now, I'm still like coming to terms and understanding everything that's like really happening and what it
Mhm.
really entails. So it's like I don't think my mind allowed me to take that whole like cascading flow of information in at once. It's been letting me have a little at a time. I've been self-preserving myself from the shock of it all. But
Okay.
my first initial idea was to make music and escape. That was the escape, and not realizing that the escape was actually leading towards a release. So
Right. Wow, that's amazing. And then, so where are you at now? So I know you went to the doctor today. When exactly was the diagnosis again?
2 years ago, coming up on 3 years in March.
Oh,
Actually,
wow. Okay.
March will be 3 years.
So what have you seen of this? What are they like? I know what MS is, but is it called a disorder? Like, do you know if it's not a disease? It's not, I wouldn't
Actually,
consider
it is a
it
disease.
considered a
It is.
disease? Okay.
Um, so the disease itself, as I was trying to explain, is it's a long medical term. The PML that I was speaking of.
Yeah.
PML is progressive multifocal. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Glucoencephalopathy.
Okay. Okay.
In other words, the white matter of the brain is caused by a virus that's called another polyomavirus or JC virus.
Okay.
So basically, the JC virus is what attacks the white matter in the brain,
Hmm.
which is the other half of the virus, which is the multiple sclerosis, which how Dante had said in there, like compared to AIDS, is it different? Like that virus, that particular disease is mostly common in people with HIV, who have lymphoma,
Hmm.
who have lupus,
Hmm.
multiple sclerosis. Diseases like this is where this is more prominent and more likely to occur. So
Okay.
that monthly to the 3 to 4 month checkup that I get where they check my blood work,
Hmm.
I go through that whole pause in life worried about whether or not they're going to say I have the JC virus.
Okay.
That's when
Okay.
it becomes more critical.
Okay. Okay.
So multiple sclerosis itself is the chronic disease that attacks the membrane of your nervous system.
Okay. Wow. And so from the beginning, when you first, you had like a cascade of symptoms and you're like, okay, something's not right. I got to get checked out. From that moment that you got the diagnosis today, have you progressed at all? Have you been able to be in remission? What's changed since?
So since the day of diagnosis till now, they caught it early enough whereas they can keep the progression of it getting worse slowed. They slowed down the progression of the disease. I haven't had any flare-ups or anything that caused me to go into the hospital,
Okay.
thankfully. And it's just one day at a time moving forward. I still go through bouts of exhaustion towards the time I go for what I call now the recharge day, when I go for
Yeah.
my infusions.
Okay.
The last 2 weeks, I get very, very tired and sluggish, and sometimes not even doing anything. And it's like I'm drained. Like if I was running a marathon, like I'm pushing forward. Like you've already
Right.
seen me go. Like
Oh, yeah.
most people that see me don't think about that or can realize that, like, with all that going on, I'm still like pushing myself to the limit.
And does exhaustion first come physically? And does that often lead to mental fatigue as well?
I think it comes physical. It becomes physical first for me because mentally I don't stop. And I think, and I was saying the same thing to my wife, the mental exertion will weigh its way out on you physically. Eventually, you'll
Right.
just be too tired.
Mhm.
And yes, so for me, it is a physical exertion after I've extremely stressed myself mentally,
Right.
and then I just have to sit still. I have to be okay with taking a day to sit down and do nothing, and like coach myself into understanding that the world's not going to fall apart because I'm not doing 15,000 things.
Yep.
I got to sit still and do it myself.
So that's starting to become, so now when you catch I assume that you're catching that earlier and earlier now, and hopefully you can get it to the point where you rest at a point before you get so exhausted that you can't continue. Um, are you starting to read those signs a little bit earlier now, or are you still just pushing yourself to the end and then you flop on the
I
couch?
am starting to read them better, and my wife, she will not allow me not to. She sees it, so she's
Yeah,
on me. You've met my wife. She will physically jump on me, so I'm not
awesome.
even going to.
I love it.
Yeah,
Good, good. Yeah, because I wonder how that plays in the progression of it. I mean, um, the mind is such a powerful thing, and we can make it override so many things, but you have literally a physical disease that's stopping you from, it's just stopping you in your tracks at times. And, learning to listen to your body and say, okay, I don't got this. I gotta sit down. I gotta rest. And it sucks because you think it's a problem. Like you feel bad. You feel like I can't push. Like this is not me. This is not who I am. Like many of us go through this where we just have this, like, for example, for me, like working in a nursing home full time at night shift, and also being a full time online coach, like that burned me out really bad to the point where I'm like, I can't handle work stress like I used to. And it makes me feel terrible. I feel so guilty over it.
that was probably like the biggest battle that I had. That I'm slowly, coming to the end of it. But it was like knowing all the things that I've done, what I can do. I like people was like, how do you even find time to sleep when you like working at the theater, you're building sets, you're running sound over here, you're working at the mansion out there, you got your own business, like, and you have your household. How are you even standing? I'm like, I just do it. And then
Just
when
go.
you get to a point like now, it's like, I can't do it. That's
Mhm.
not, it's more than just like, well, damn, I can't do it. It was like, damn, I can't do that anymore. Like, it's depressing. It's like, I can't do that. Like, you're saying it out loud over and over again. Like, I really can't do that.
Yeah.
And
It hurts.
it took a while to really embrace and accept those words and accept the reality of it. It's like
Right.
certain things I just can't do. I don't have the energy to do that.
Right. And I think what will stem from this, the hard thing is that we're doing so many things right now to get your business up and running. We're being very proactive and going full force. But I think through this, we're going to find, how do we work smarter and not harder? Because we're coming from very two different sides of the coin of exhaustion and knowing what we have done in the past, knowing that we can't do it that way anymore. But how do we come back to the middle and say, okay, let's design a plan that we're going to get still all of this done, but we're going to do it in a different way. And I think when something's new, it's you got to go with the flow for us. Like, okay, is your phone working? Okay, we got to get a hotspot. Okay, we can't be on time all the time. But I think as we work out the kinks and things move a little bit more farther forward, yeah, that smartness will come out, and we'll end up accomplishing just as much. And you're not going to be laid out on the couch. And hopefully, and you even said, we were texting back and forth with Dante. You're like, no, guys, when I said I'm taking a break, I'm taking a break. Like, I don't have a studio. I don't have anything set up. Nothing's coming out. And that was awesome because you're like, I meant
Yeah.
it. And so then you're like, I know what I need to do to get back in action, but I need to take the time to get set up again. And I think that speaks volumes even from your, yeah, look at that. That's not a studio yet.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do here.
Right, right. And the cool thing is that when you come back,
Oh,
the
it's
work is there. It's on and popping, and you're back at it, and we're pumping stuff out. And
we
it's
already
okay to stop.
yeah, we already have uh one, two, three, about 3 or 4 episodes already. Like, all I have to do is sit down and spend a couple of hours doing the fine editing and whatnot.
Mhm.
We're already pretty much still on track. Like, and then Dante's been, hinting and telling us about other people who have then like speaking up to come on, there's a list of other people that I've mentioned that we haven't even sat down with.
Right.
So other than the three that's already in the chamber, so to speak, there's at least 6 to 7 more like interviews that's coming up, and we haven't even hit like March yet.
Right.
We
And that's
we started this in January, and we're already we're moving. So it's like I enjoy his spontaneousness. It's working out. But and the funny thing is, our last episode, I spontaneously told him he was interviewing me the day before. He had no idea.
it was beautiful.
So everything that happened in there was spontaneous.
Yep. I loved it. I truly enjoyed the episode, the flow of it. And when you finished, who's back there? Who do we got?
Hold on just a moment.
Uh-huh.
All right, but I can hear y'all. Yeah, it's still.
No, we're leaving right now.
Okay.
Hi. You got all this space now. You're like, wait, I'm gonna walk all the way across the room.
The third floor thumping like that.
It's called girls. That's what we do. We're like elephants.
Well, yes. So
So yeah, I want to kind of finish up with this past episode that you put out. When the interview was over, you went into all the interviews of the people that you work with. Is it the theater? Is that where?
that's a collective of people throughout Rhode Island and throughout my time here. One of my best friends, Rage, he's like a mentor to me. Local artist, actor, MC, just all around one of those brothers. Then there was Rochelle Collins. He's one of the black storytellers for Rhode Island Black Storytellers for All Ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, through the theater and just performing, I have some footage of some of the stuff I've done for the Langston Hughes performances. Like I was a performer there a couple of years in a row. Like, and these are the people. There are so many other people I've met throughout Rhode Island in the arts alone that I have ties with and have stories with and a kinship with that I want to bring to light, because that's part of what the other side of thing is. It's sitting down with people and really just having those moments to like allow them to be them and not put on their business self, not put on, this is what I do and this is how I'm trying to get you. No, I don't want you to come in as a client. I want you to come in and sit down.
Who
like,
are you?
This is you. This is me. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I just the way it flowed, because I was like, oh, there's time left. I'm like, what's next? And just the flow into the interviews and then you jumping around the stage, and it just really made a profound statement on what you were talking about earlier. Like, this guy used to be the most energetic, off the chain, backflipping person, and that person's still there, but how does that person look like now as this disease is trying to take over, not doing very well. So when one of the statements I made is like, I would love to see you get back to that, get back to doing a backflip, getting to be that energetic person again. And that's why I felt really compelled to want to work with you. Nutrition is such a profound part of healing, and to put all together with, the infusions you're getting, your doctors that you're talking to, staying active, making sure that your muscle is building more muscle, and that I think it's the myelin sheath on the nerves, that you're still using everything so that you can.
Because I was going to murder that word.
Yeah.
So weird. I was like, I'm not going to say that. I've done enough.
So I think the myelin sheath on the nerves is what protects the nerves from damage. And so I think you can slow that progression with getting stronger. And so once you're settled, we can, I don't know what your series looks like right now. We'll talk again about it, but that would be a lot of fun to put that in as well, and how that piece of it affects everything else that you're doing.
Oh, I'm definitely down for that because
Yeah.
one of the things they recommended is before I met you and before you said it was to do 10,000 steps a day. So
Yep.
since I've been back to work and on top of everything else, I'm working on second shift. So it's like I'm working all day, running with y'all, doing this, and then I go from there to from working from 3:30 to like midnight, way
Hmm.
out and eat like Quonset. So it's like, but working there and big as that facility is, and I get 10,000 steps easy.
Yeah.
And with the moving I did in the last couple of weeks, I was getting 10,000 before 10 o'clock.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm definitely because I was on a regiment of three days in, 2 days off during the week at the gym.
Okay.
I would like to
Okay.
get to doing
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely. And again, because you're so early in the disease and catching it so fast and getting treatment, yeah, you might not really miss a beat from what you were doing before. And that's the thing, is just to build up that strength and use nutrition to protect everything, your brain, all of it. Keep your joints agile and inflammation down. And then, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to learn more about it and how I can help you and just all the people that, together that we can help and saying it's okay. We got you.
Mm-hmm.
Here are a few things that maybe you can change to feel a little bit better. Don't lose hope. Just, keep on, keep it on. And yeah, I'm very excited. Like I very much enjoy. I've enjoyed all your videos so far, but this one, I feel like they get better and better. Like you're refining your craft more. You're editing what you're putting out, and the people that you're getting on. You're starting to know what fits
Right.
Beyond Eons Productions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited for this to truly take off. So with that said, what's next? You said we have three already in the docket.
Yes.
Why don't we, I don't know, maybe you can say a little bit about the topics.
Oh, four. See, four. I just thought of another.
Awesome.
So we're going to be, and this is not in any particular order. We're going to be stepping into mental health. We're also going to sit down with an educator and a good friend of mine who's also Palestinian, and she teaches English. She has a great book that came out, which is Memoir in Her Time, as a refugee, as an immigrant, as a Palestinian woman. We have a financial advisor who is local, who flips houses. We're going to be sitting down for the mental health series. The beginning of it, we have a lot of people. We have politics coming up. We have, but I think what I can reveal, the first one back that will be airing, not saying when, will be the thank you. The thank you episode, saying thank
Okay.
you to all the people who have logged in, watched, shared, subscribed, liked, commented. Like, we just want to take a moment to say thank you for
Right.
rolling with us, for being a part of the Beyond Eon
Yeah.
experience. So
Yes. Yeah. That's so appreciative. And I think one thing for us, and actually Dante is very clear about this, people are watching. You might not get the likes, you might not get the comments, but eventually when they're ready, they come out of the woodworks and they say when they need to say something. And that kind of hit home for me because I didn't want to share, not that I didn't want to share, but I was like, should I share my thyroid story, what I'm going through? And the response I've gotten, even just from a few people, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be sharing. And, we went from on this live, we had 7 people and then 3 people and then 7 people. Whoever, how many ever get to hear this, we might impact someone at some point. And I think it's important to be vocal and be honest and true and just unleash it. And if we can help one person, then that's amazing.
I think I agree. And what I just came to me is basically, regardless, what I think what Dante's been trying to say, now that I think about it, is like, it doesn't matter whether they're tuning in now, right now, or when they tune in. These words, these ideas, these emotions, these things are being put together because we're all in, you know, in mind and like the idea and want to put it out there. Whenever that message is seen, whenever, it could be a year from now, 2 years from now,
Yep.
it still holds the same message. It still holds the same power. It wasn't meant for you to have it then. It's meant for you to have it now, or it's meant for you to have it later.
Yep.
Whenever you find that video or it finds you, it's still going to resonate.
Yep.
So that's like, yeah, I get it now. I get it now, Dante. I get it. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you guys, don't shame me on this. I just finally watched Game of Thrones, the whole thing. Like,
I can't shame you. I fell off around season 3 or 4.
okay. All right. So I don't want to spoil it, but at the end, this is exactly what we're talking about. Everything happens as it's supposed to happen. If that didn't happen over there, then this wouldn't have happened over in that direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the same thing. When you see it, it's your turn to see it. It's your time.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so great about where we're at in technology and all these things to be able to share is that it's not going away. And so when that circulates and someone just happens to pop up on their story or their feed or their YouTube suggestion, and then they're like, oh, that's what I needed to hear. And, you know, if you keep that in mind, it erases all the need for the likes and the subscribers and all that, because it will come in time. And you just got to keep sharing the message and putting it out there. And I love the variety that we're bringing to the table, because we're all humans. We're all at the core the same type of people. And then it's cool to see how that diverges into different you know, careers and political standpoints, religion, all that. So I think you're going to run the gamut of so many different things, but I think it's all around one centering focus of just being real and
human.
Yep.
Just being human.
And being colorblind.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I love this. So we'll see what we get to do next week. We'll bring it again. I know that not an episode is coming up, but what we can do, if you want, we can get on. We can see how the studio is coming along. And then, you know, we'll still kind of buttress off of the colorblind video, or if anything else comes up, like if we get any comments from the other videos, we can kind of just collect things and talk about what we've seen, you know, on a weekly basis.
Indeed.
Okay.
That sounds great. I love the idea when it came across the screen. I was like, that's not a bad idea. That'll keep that ball rolling.
You keep doing this, and we just gotta pass. What did he write? Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, this was first episode of Wednesday Whispers, and thank you all for tuning in. Again, this is Yakim Parker, and we are with Beyond Eons Productions, and we have so much more to share with you.
Indeed.
And we'll be back on here again next week. All right, thanks, guys. All right, see you later.
Later.